Between the rapidly approaching end of LUTI, the ramp-up of qualifiers for the LAN Championship Showdown, the start of Splat World Series season, and the recently announced Season 2 of the Splatoon 3 North American League, it is an amazing time to be a competitive Splatoon fan. This week was no different, with a major LAN that flew under the English community's radar, one of the craziest low-inks to date, a brand new LAN hitting the scene, and more. Howdy, I'm Jardonian, and let's break it down in the Weekly Ink. Starting out with our weeklies as always, Paddling Pool 362 saw a pretty stacked event at a total of 24 teams this time around. The winners ended up being Canlo Toussaint, made up of Slim Shady, Labi, Reyes, and Baque. The team had a fairly easy bracket, only really facing a challenge against So What Gang, a pickup who lost all the way back in round 2 of the bracket and managed to make a run all the way to grand finals, where they would finally bow out at second. Congrats to them on the W, and thanks to Dapple for another great event. Speaking of insane losers runs, Baja's Blast saw just that for their 41st edition, with the winning team of Burr Per Pata Present making a crazy run this event. The team lost to Popular today 3-0 in just round 2 of the tournament, and then locked in and began to work their way through losers. After securing a handful of sets to make it up to lower finals, the Burr would face Popular once again, but this time, they were ready, securing a quick and decisive 3-0 victory to make it into grand finals. Hot off this momentum, Burr took down Collision fairly easy in 2 back-to-back 3-1 sets, securing themselves their well-earned win. Our final weekly this time around was Triton-Cup 139, which many of you have been correctly pointing out is now a weekly over the last few episodes. This edition was on the smaller side at just 21 teams, but there were definitely still some interesting moments to come out of it nonetheless. Pop, made up of Obito, J-Rod, Baque, and Kiki, ended up being the ones to take the throne this week, earning their victory pretty easily through the winner's side. The team only really faced a challenge when facing down Zenith in upper finals, which did go to a 3-2, but it was not enough to stop Pop from taking the win. Moving on from our weeklies, this weekend saw March's edition of Low Ink bring out 52 low-level teams to try and take their shot at the throne and the elusive ban. The winners ended up being Altruist, a team name you should be well aware of if you've been keeping up with low-level Splatoon or even the current season of LUTI. They've been a consistent alpha bracket team in Low Ink for a while, and they're currently dominating their division of leagues under the Ink, so it's really no surprise to see them finally come out on top. On the other hand, the second placing team of Vanta Black had many people shocked at their run. As seed number 23, Vanta Black wasn't even on most people's radars as a team to keep an eye on this event, but the signs were absolutely there, with them having won from the Ink Cup just a few weeks earlier and having a handful of solid wins on their resume as well. Through their run, Vanta managed to take out quite a few higher seeded teams, beating the third placing team of 11'8" Bridge back in round 2 and taking a 3-1 over Altruist in upper finals. And while Altruist did manage to get their revenge in grands, it was still a very impressive run for them. So be sure to keep an eye on Vanta Black. They very well might be next up to win.
And with only 2 seconds left, they managed to get on tower, but with the triple ink strikes and Liko swimming at the tower, that is game. And that is set. Vanta Black gets revenge for yesterday, where Altruist beat them. Now Vanta Black is advancing to grands, and Altruist gets knocked down to losers.
For our final online event of the week, we had a special request from one of our channel members, T-Bob. By the way, if you want to request events to be featured in the Weekly Ink, consider becoming a channel member. We take suggestions nearly every episode. Anyways, this week saw the return of the fan favorite Mode Cup, an event that cycles between the 4 ranked modes for each event. The 12th edition ran as a Splat Zones only tournament, and while it may have brought out just 9 total teams, don't let the count fool you. It was stacked with some of the best players in the West. Runboy, an EZMD pickup with Devin 4K, Kiki, Pablo, U-Snipe, Henlo, and Max managed to take the win with this edition, and pretty comfortably through the winner's side at that. While they did play a couple close sets against Dinosaur King in both upper finals and grand finals, it wasn't nearly enough to stop that run, and they walked away with the well-earned win. Pivoting away from online events to LANs, this week saw a whopping 3, including a brand new event, an LCS qualifier, and a major. Starting with our brand new LAN, we had LAN of 10,000 Lakes, a brand new event hosted in Minnesota. The event drew in a total of 6 teams for its inaugural event, a pretty solid number all in all. By the end, the team left standing was Woe, made up of Micro Mew, DQ11 Fan, Tufa, and Ink159. The team won through the winner's side without even really breaking a sweat, only dropping a single game against Gamers Exist Magically in grand finals. Congrats to them on the win, and if you're in the area, you should consider going to the next event. It's massively important to support your local LANs when you can. That same day, we saw a second Midwestern LAN run its course with Chi-Shoals number 41. This edition served as the qualifier for the LAN Championship Showdown, and as such, it brought in the best players in the region. and trust us, it's a pretty stacked region. But of the 12 teams that made their way out, none could hold a candle to Overseer, the event's overall winner and 5th team to earn their spot in the LCS. Surprisingly, it wasn't even particularly close, with the team only dropping one singular game against Desolate Land in upper semifinals, before sweeping their way through winners and grands to secure their W. Thanks again to the TOs for another great event, and be sure to check out the LAN Championship Showdown when it runs its course later this year.
Yeah, another crack. Bounces so many crackers. I'm not sure he's running any charts. Should be able to find.
Oh,
what a read on the movement. Bouncer able to.
For our final event of the week, we have a big one, and one you might have missed. Full Wipe 2026. Full Wipe is a major LAN tournament series in the EU hosted by EBTV. As you would expect for an event of this scale, nearly every top-level EU player made their way out, and Top Cut was littered with pickups of the best players in the Western scene. Despite this, the winning team somehow managed to sweep the event, only dropping one game the entire time. And you'll never guess who it is. That's right, the winners ended up being Gris, a pickup of, say it with us, PXG, with Volti and Promono taking the spots of the team's American players. As we said before, the team was dominant, only dropping a single game against the recently rising EU team of the Agency in semifinals. After that, it was a cakewalk for Gris, taking down W Gang and Grands to easily take home the crown. Congratulations to them, and thank you to EBTV for another amazing European event. And thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you same time, same place, next week. Thanks for watching.